and where you live.
Okay. My name is Andy Thomas. I'm originally from the UK. I was born in South Wales in a little town called Bridgend, which is randomly the suicide capital of the UK, but I like to think that I'm a little bit more positive than that. And I now live in Los Angeles. I've lived in the States since 2007. I lived in New York for 5 years, and then I've been over here since 2011.
Awesome. Yeah, so you always got to make the jump, right? The transition.
Try. Yeah, it's just an adventure at the end of the day, so it's cool.
Exactly. Awesome. So let's get into it. So let's do that. You are the head chef at the White House. So the head pastry chef at the White House. So tell me a little bit about your background and training in pastry.
Okay. So I initially started out baking with my mum when I was a kid back in the UK. She was a really, really good baker. Lots of my friends always used to kind of like have their birthday cakes made by my mum, and it was always kind of really, really fun. So I really enjoyed kind of getting involved with that, and kind of just cottoned onto the fact that not only did I enjoy it, but I was actually quite good at it. And she kind of mentored me to begin with, and then sort of launched me into the process of like expanding my horizons into the fact that I could actually do it as a profession. So then kind of pushed me into going into it in more of a professional capacity, and I eventually moved to London, started working in a couple of kitchens in London as a really like lowly kind of chef in the team, and then sort of worked my way up.
Did you ever work for like the Prime Minister or the Queen or the royal family? Like, how'd you get to working for the President of the United States? Did you have to start over there?
No, so I basically kind of worked my way up working for people. I ended up working with Jamie Oliver for a little while as his pastry chef at a restaurant of his down in Cornwall in southwest England. And then just through the connections, I ended up moving to a restaurant in New York, working for a restaurant over there, which was really, really great experience. And New York was a fucking blast, and I would move back there in a heartbeat if I could. But then through the course of the fact that I was working in New York so often, just in the way that it works, just like any kind of business, is all about contacts. And then suddenly this kind of came up at the White House, and it just kind of intrigued me. It was during the Obama period, and I was a big fan of his, so I was just excited about being involved in that kind of moment in history, I guess.
Were you like, are you a sophisticated pastry chef, or do you go like a little more, rustic, or what's your style?
I'd like to think that I'm modern, but I'm always going to do old school. So if you kind of take a comparison to cars, for example, then it's like taking a 1966 Mustang, but then everything underneath it is modern. And so it works like a modern car, but it still looks old school.
So tell me one of your specialties that has an old school feel, but a modern touch.
I'd probably be my souffle. I do a vanilla souffle. But instead of it being just classic old souffle, it normally has something inside it that's kind of like almost like a kind of melted kind of vanilla or chocolate type thing inside of it. And then so when you open up the souffle, instead of it just being kind of blown out pastry, then it's actually got something molten inside of it.
Do you see a difference between the culinary taste and I don't know, sophistication between the Obamas and the Trumps?
I mean, I don't work there anymore, so I haven't worked there since Trump's been in the White House. But I mean, Obama was a pretty sophisticated palate. I would say that Michelle had a very good palate as well.
Did she eat your sweets, or was she just like kind of every once in a while, or did she just have a good metabolism, or how does she stay so fit?
Like a nut bag, so yeah, she ate whatever I put in front of her, so it was cool.
Amazing. And where'd you go to culinary school, or did you go to culinary school?
I never went to culinary school. I just went straight into the restaurants in London. So I grew up with my mum doing baking, all that kind of good stuff, and then just started on the ground up and did apprenticeships within the kitchen.
Perfect. Now I'm just going to have you tell me a little bit about the real you. So, I mean, they all know who you are, but any fun hobbies or anything interesting or unique about you?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I suppose, it's sort of unique that I'm not from this country, so I'm outside the country. I grew up playing field hockey,
Oh.
and played that at not quite national level, but sort of, I guess for the equivalent would be for my state. And so it was quite sporty growing up. Ended up playing a lot of that, playing a lot of ultimate frisbee. I'm from South Wales, which is not part of England, but is part of the UK. And so therefore rugby is really important in my life, because if I don't like rugby as a Welshman, then I get cut out of the family. I love cars. I've always loved cars from little kid. My dad took me to a lot of races when I was a kid, and so kind of growing up doing a lot of that. I own too many cars and have done over the years. I studied physics when I was at university. Did medical physics, which was like X-rays and MRIs and all that kind of good stuff.
Wow.
But then I also studied radio, film, and television, which is I ended up working in television.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll do.
Yeah, I think so. Just give me a little grin. I'm gonna take a screenshot photo of you, so I don't have to grab a screen grab, and then you're gonna be like all over the place. Sit back just a little, so I don't lose the top of your head. There we go. Perfect. All right, you're all set.
All right.
So nice to meet you, Andy. Thank you so much for getting back with us.